So, for a lot of people, finding a SaaS idea is the hardest part of the entire journey. But I just came up with a cracked way to find pretty much unlimited, validated SaaS ideas for free. Really easy, takes like no time whatsoever. And in addition to them already being validated, we'll be able to see real customer pain points. So we can take this idea that's kind of already working and then maybe put our own spin on it. Maybe focus on this one area that is causing a lot of customers pain points and just take a new corner of the market. And these clouds have absolutely nothing to do with it. I just wanted a nice, serene backdrop as we start this journey. Alrighty, let's get into it. So it kind of all starts over here. I was on this website called Lead Delta. Doesn't really matter that much, but what does matter is I was scrolling down and I saw something pretty interesting on this website, which is that they have this roadmap down here, and it's pretty cool. You're able to see all these planned features that they want to build and some additional features which they want their customers' opinions and feedback on in order to make informed decisions about what they want to build. And I don't have an account on this website, but I'm still able to see this. This is all publicly accessible. And I don't really remember how I came to this realization, but I somehow realized that this is all being powered by a different application that is not internal to Lead Delta. And that website is called Canny. Canny is pretty popular in the indie hacking space. A lot of people are familiar with this company and are familiar with the fact that it is essentially a feedback management tool with a couple other features included. And as you can see, this is the public roadmap feature that is included in Canny. But what happens with this is if you want to integrate Canny into your site to gather customer feedback, you have one of two options. One is to set up custom domains, which probably costs a little bit more, or the easier route with less setup but less customization is to link over to a Canny subdomain. And now with that information, we're able to come over to ChatGPT and we can say, hey, can you find us all of the websites, not all of the websites, but can you at least craft a Google search that allows us to essentially find all of the websites that either have this Canny subdomain in it or some of the popular custom domains that people set up when they have integrated Canny as a custom domain. So for example, back on the original website that I found this on, it is prefixed with roadmap.leaddelta.com. We can use this as a start to our search to find all these websites that are using Canny as an integration. And I'm not that good at searching on Google, and I'm also really not that good at AI, but I crafted this genius prompt over to ChatGPT, and I said, hey, I want you to get me the URLs to embedded Canny boards on company websites. Is there a Google search I can do to find this? And it just gave me a bunch of different Google searches that I can perform, and this is where the magic begins. And so exactly what I mentioned before, one of those searches is allowing us to essentially find URLs that have that feedback, and also somewhere on the website has powered by Canny. And now we get a ton of different stuff. And now we can essentially scroll through all of these companies, look at their roadmaps, and look at what their customers are asking for and see maybe this is an avenue that we can take to build a SaaS of our own. So I don't know, let's just click on this first one right here. I don't know what this company is, but we know it's a real company with real users because we have feature requests, 1,300 feature requests for that matter. And some of these feature requests have upwards of over 100 upvotes, 60 upvotes, and you might want to look at some of the ones that are under review or planned because these are ones that the dev team just has not gotten to yet. So obviously this is one with a good amount of customer pain. It's got 63 upvotes, and it seems pretty specific to their platform, but you could just have a grand old time scrolling through all of these and seeing exactly what these customer pain points are. And I have no way to actually validate this, but for a lot of these companies, they won't actually really have it super publicly available exactly where their roadmap is. So on the one that I was looking at before and on this random one that I just pulled up, their roadmap is buried all the way down in the footer of their website. So most likely folks who aren't users of this tool are not submitting feature requests. And even if they are, they're probably getting filtered out by the team. But these feature requests are likely being sent out to real users, maybe via email, or maybe it's in the platform. It's a little bit more publicly accessible, so you can know that these feature requests are coming from actual users of this platform. All right, I want to take this one step further. And now let's assume we've found a website that is implementing this customer feedback, and we think that's a good idea, and maybe we want to build a SaaS in that space. How do we validate that there is a lot of traffic coming over to that website and that this is a good space that maybe needs competition and has enough room for another SaaS in this space? Well, to do that, maybe we can come over to Ahrefs, I honestly don't really know, and paste in the URL that we're looking for. to see how much traffic this website is generating. Let's see. Wow. And dang, as you can see, this website is generating almost 100,000 visitors every single month, which is insane. Now you know that this is a big market. There's probably a lot of customers on this platform, and there's also probably a lot of customers who maybe aren't happy with certain features of this platform, and you can see exactly what they're not happy about. So back over to ChatGPT, you could pretty much just do this all day. Maybe there are better AI models at helping you find these websites, but I think these Google searches are pretty good. We could try a different one. And literally you just get pages and pages and pages of different SaaS companies that have publicly accessible feature request boards. All right, last final thing that I'll leave y'all with is, obviously this is great for websites that have Canny on it, but of course not every SaaS application is going to have Canny, or not going to have a publicly accessible board to see feature requests. But Canny also has competitors. We could also look at different websites such as Product Board, or I think FeatureBase is another one, and just repeat this entire process for companies outside of Canny. And literally, I think you could just go endless. You could go infinite on this. And there's absolutely no reason that you should not be able to find a good validated SaaS idea from doing this. I've said this before on my channel, and I've definitely heard this elsewhere, that if you're looking for a good place to start for finding SaaS ideas and figuring out what to build, especially if it's your first product or your second product, just to build something that you need and is helpful for yourself, and maybe other people will have that same problem as well. And that's what I've done for my first 2 SaaS applications. I think it can only take you so far. I think that definitely has its limitations. So using a method like this, finding actual SaaS companies that are making real money and that have real users, is definitely also another really great way to go about finding SaaS ideas. And this will likely be the approach that I take going forward, because this really just takes all the guesswork out of whether people will pay for a product like this. All of this information that is directly in front of you kind of validates all of that. So that's pretty much all I got. Like I said, I just wanted to share this with y'all. I almost didn't want to share it with y'all because it's kind of cracked. But there's also hundreds, if not thousands, of websites that you can go and do this type of research for. So go forth and prosper. Subscribe for more cracked SaaS content.